Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Big Family Small Farm.
Welcome back.
Whew.
Here we are on a
Been
Wednesday.
couple,
this is
Wednesday. This is our.
it's a little bit odd.
This will be our makeup live for missing our live on Sunday.
Sorry, guys.
Because you were gone on Sunday.
Yeah,
You left me on
couldn't be
Sunday.
helped. I left you.
Yeah. What were you? Oh, it was the girls had a church thing.
They did.
Over in Montgomery. Yep. Hello,
2
hello,
hour
hello,
drive,
Miss Jody over in Sydney. Did you get your magnets, Miss Jody?
Yeah, I hope so. I did. I sure did mail them. I did.
Yep. Whew, y'all, Angie went to town today, and she treated me with a
We got
Sonic drink because it's half price drinks in the afternoon.
for happy hour between 2 and 4, I think it is on weekdays. So
Yep.
We got us some caffeine, some bad for you caffeine.
Yep.
Good stuff though. It makes
Not
you feel
yet.
better.
It'll take a couple weeks. I got you. All right. Fair enough.
And we've been into the comfort foods in general the past day or so.
Yeah, we've just been.
I've just been kind of. I don't care to put a lot of extra stress on myself lately. I want my comforts. I want my creature comforts to make me feel better.
Yep. Thank all of you who've been commenting and let us know how much you care and telling us about your condolences. We really appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot, and we do go through and read all here. I'll fix it, baby. Okay. There you go.
There we go.
Which one?
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Yeah, it means a lot to us. He was. It was hard. He's been with us for a long time. So.
And those of you who've been through that, who've had a pet for a long time, especially that your children have gotten attached to, like you've had a real family pet, with them every day. Like they were more than an animal. They were more like a person. So those of you who've been through that and you've had them for such a long time, for like over a decade, there's no way to describe what that animal means to you. There's no way to tell somebody how you felt about that, about that creature. He was like a member of our family. Yeah, there's no way to describe that.
Yeah. Now, and we'd been expecting it for, we knew it was going to happen. We didn't know it was going to happen all of a sudden, but he's had an autoimmune disease for, I guess it was 4 years ago now that they diagnosed him with it. And he's been on prednisone ever since to control symptoms. Like itching on his skin and rashes and breakouts of ear infections. And and they couldn't ever figure out any other treatment for him other than just to treat the symptoms. And so that taking prednisone for that many years takes a toll on your kidneys. And
they did warn us about that. They, when all this started, all of his issues had started, they said, it's going to beat up his kidneys and eventually it is going to be the death of him. But, they gave me a choice 4 years ago. They said, he can go down this route and we can treat all his symptoms and make him very comfortable, or we can just not.
Yep.
And then the symptoms will probably finish him off and he'll be miserable basically. So I didn't really have a choice, and we had to treat him the best we could over the past 4 years.
Yep.
But eventually it was going to kill him. We knew that. We knew it.
Yep. Now, sadly, we know now that there's places like Auburn that probably could have treated him with something other than just prednisone, but you do the best you can with what you know and what the resources that you think you have. So
and we have been living in Louisiana the past 3 or 4 years.
We just moved up here. So but it's he's happier now. We didn't quite expect it to happen all of a sudden like that. It went from he was doing just fine days ago to all of a sudden he wasn't doing well, just kind of normal, not feeling well, not doing well. Then all of a sudden he just like really bad, just in a matter of a couple of days.
That was a bit more sudden than I would have liked.
Yep, it was.
But it does help, I guess. I wouldn't say it makes it easier knowing that it's coming, but I would say that it
It does help.
It helped me to prepare for it. You know, I
Yep.
feel bad for people like Jamie
Mhm.
and Lester who they had no warning, they had no preparation for
for Maggie.
for
Yep.
Maggie.
Mhm.
It's bad when you. I've been through the other side of it where we didn't have
Yep,
any
our other
warning,
family dog, yeah.
for Casque that we had for almost 10 years
Mhm.
and no warning, and that was hard for me. I think it's easier to prepare. It's easier to
Mhm.
mentally get my head wrapped around the fact that it's coming. I think that's easier.
Yep. And I think we both kind of cried ourselves out. We're probably dehydrated. We cried so much yesterday. So, but I hate to have put out a sad video, y'all. I like to put out happy, uplifting stuff, but that's kind of what was going on, yesterday. So
thank you, Miss Joanne. Yep. Yeah. I
yeah,
understand
and all of you can relate. A lot of you can relate. A lot of you out there have been through similar situations. So we appreciate all of your comments.
It's amazing how similar that is to caring for a aging parent or an elderly family member that is not gonna get any better, and that time is coming when someone has cancer or that they're coming to the end. It's coming to the final stages. It's kind of like that. It's like you've been taking care of this creature or this person for so long. You've been caring for them in every way for so long. And then it's coming to an end. It's like, what am I going to do without them? Yep. I guess that's the feeling that I have is like, I'm expecting to wake up and take care of Bashy every morning or pet him or feed him or something. And it's like, I got to figure out how to, I got to figure out how to go on without him. Yeah.
But enough talking about the end.
Sorry.
Not everybody probably knows how you found him. I think you mentioned it during the video when you recorded yesterday, but how did you find him? How did we get Bashy?
Oh yeah. So
he was another one that that you brought home.
I truly believe Wes picks on me all the time for bringing home like strays and stuff, but I truly believe there's just certain ones that they found me and they came into our life for a reason. Like those are the ones that we had to have. Like they needed us as parents, they needed to be part of our family, and that was one of them. It's not coincidence that this happened. So we were living in California and we were living on a military base. And I was leaving the military base to go to the next town over to do some grocery shopping. And I had the babies all loaded up and Sarah was 4 or 5. She was like barely school age. And then Lily, 2.5 years younger than that.
Yep.
So go down a little bit, and I've got this, toddler, and then I've got a baby. I've got baby Avery. So all of them,
Avery wasn't even maybe 6 months old.
Yeah, she was tiny. She was in her baby car seat. So I got all these 3 little babies with me, and I'm headed out the gate and everything. I'm waving to the guard. As I waved to the guard, as I'm heading out, literally had just crossed through the gate. There's nothing but desert out there. It was in Lemoore, California. So it's like it's tumbleweeds and it's dry and it's sandy. And it was one of those blisteringly hot days. Like you felt like you were literally living in the desert. So it was bad, dry heat. So all the sand is blowing, a tumbleweed rolls by, and then I see this little creature like scampering across in front of the vehicle. And I think it was Sarah that yelled, "Oh, a bunny or a squirrel," or something like that. She was so little. She thought bunny or squirrel. And I was like, that's a dog. That's like first thing that crossed my mind. That is a dog. And it was a little puppy and it was just scampering. It was wiggling across the road.
Yep.
And so little, I could tell this thing wasn't weaned. He was less than 6 weeks old. It was so little. It was not supposed to be away from its mama. And that area had a lot of dump dogs. We had found, we had heard a lot of our friends saying that there's strays that wander the neighborhood and just have puppies. And then that's because people have dumped all their dogs at the gate or left them out in the desert to die. And now they're roaming the neighborhood. But everybody dumps their dogs out there. So somebody had dumped him and left him to die in the desert. I don't know what happened to the rest of his litter or his mom. I never did find out. But I jumped out of the car, like slammed it in park and jumped out of the car. Not a thought in my head. I just leaped out of the car and ran into the bush where he had scampered. And I was digging through tumbleweeds and I dragged him out through the tumbleweed bush and I put him on my chest and he was crying and he was so little. And I got in the car and they said, I want to hold it. I want to hold it. And I was like, your father is going to kill me. That was my next thought. I'm dead meat,
Yeah. I wasn't thrilled.
I turned it around, didn't even go to the grocery store. I turned it around, went back through the gate, went home, Got the puppy set up in the
Mhm.
bathroom on the hard floor.
Yeah, but it was going to die, so
it
you
was
had to
gonna
bring it home.
die,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He wouldn't have survived even a
Mhm.
day out in that heat in the desert. So that's how I found little Bashy.
Yep, and that's how we got him, and he survived. You know, when he was 6 months, he ended up getting parvo, and he survived through that. We
Yeah.
had to. The vet wouldn't send us home or teach us how to do an IV or anything. We had
No,
to just
we had to figure all that out.
manually use syringes and try and make him drink water.
Yeah.
So we would sit up with him. You know, we would sleep with him just like you would an infant. You know,
Right.
with you. We went down to the living room and slept on the floor with him so that we were close to the sink and his food and stuff. And
Yeah.
every 2 hours, we just rotated. One of us would wake up
Like,
and feed him
yeah,
and squish
like
up his food and
literally holding a baby and
yep.
feeding a baby. Like it was like
yep.
they
Fed
were
him
here.
water through syringes, fed him his food through syringes, just squirting it, you know, in the back of his throat so he couldn't spit it out, and he would go down and it'd get into his system. And
this is all stuff that we just looked up on the internet to try because what the vet had told us was, I'm sorry, he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like
now the vet did give us meds. The vet gave us
some
antibiotics. I don't even know if Tamiflu was a thing back then,
I don't
but
think
what
so.
he gave us was just antibiotics to help with secondary infections, and told us, hey, look, good luck to you.
Right.
If you don't admit him with us, if you don't let him stay here, then he's probably not going to survive.
Right.
So,
And we didn't have the money back then for any
yeah,
of that.
back then there's no way we could have.
Like, I don't even
let
know
him stay
how
there.
we paid for those antibiotics. Like
Yep.
we were
No.
barely affording groceries. Like we were
Yep.
barely getting by.
But he made it.
But he
So
made it.
he made it through. Yep, he pulled through, and it was a good thing. And one good thing that's come out of this,
we forgot Lily's library book.
Oh my goodness.
Miles just realized he forgot Lily's library book.
That's
he just
fine,
came from
that's
the
fine.
library. Him and Angie
Just
went to
got
the
back
library.
from getting him some stories.
One good thing that's come out of this is that
Smile. We're talking to big family. No loud stuff.
one thing that
No loud
that
stuff. Yeah.
came out of this is that the vet that we took him up to yesterday
Yeah.
is really awesome. So it's the vet that Jason and Brooke use. It's where they took the puppies. They've been going to this vet for 20 years. Marion Veterinary Clinic.
Mhm.
It's in Marion, Alabama. They're absolutely awesome, y'all. They're really, really awesome. And to kind of show the difference between the two vets, like the first vet we went to, which I'm not going to name names, but the first vet we took him to, had all his history, right? Had all his prior history and all that stuff, and still had no idea what it could be or what would be going on with him. And they hadn't done anything for him, and they wanted us to drop him off and leave him overnight, but then they didn't do anything.
We
and so
we did leave him there overnight, and that was like I had a feeling that this was going to be it. Like this, that he wasn't going to recover this time from that. But our one hope for his recovery was we were going to drop him off with this vet in hopes that he could do something for him. And they said they were going to hydrate him and everything. Well, we called the next day and they haven't done anything.
Yeah. So when they hadn't done anything,
they hadn't put him.
I
on
was
the
talking
IV,
to.
They haven't
yeah.
hydrated him. Nothing.
And it's okay if it is what it is, and they just say, "Hey, look, your dog isn't going to make it, or this is what's going on with it." But they just kept saying, the vet just kept saying, "I don't know what's going on with it," but they hadn't done blood work or anything. And anyway, so I was talking to Jason about it. He's like, "Hey, take it to where we take our dogs, and they're only an hour away from us, so that's not too bad." So Angie drove Sebastian up there. I couldn't go up there. Miles had some other commitments. I actually took off yesterday because we had so many doctor appointments and all this other stuff that was moving around.
All this is happening in the midst of optometrist appointments, baseball, doctor appointments. We had everything.
We had
scheduled.
a ton yesterday.
So I'm rushing in between all this. Yeah.
So Angie ran up there, and y'all within minutes, like the doctor up there knew what was going on, and so that said a lot to me. And what he said that without really even having to review any of Sebastian's records, like, and what he said fit exactly with what Sebastian was going through. So he's a good vet. He's a really good vet, and he was really honest about it, and I really appreciated that. When I was editing, I cut out some of the back and forth conversation because I didn't think y'all, you can only see so much of, a sad,
Right.
the
yeah.
sadness of the dog, Sebastian not making it. And so I cut huge chunks of it out, but he was really, really, really good. They're awesome up there, really friendly.
Mhm.
And so we're going to start taking all our animals up there. They're really busy because they're really
They are.
good.
And they
but-
don't take appointments, right?
Yeah, I don't think they in general, for just general stuff, I don't think
Yeah.
they do
They're just kind of like
appointments.
a walk-in.
You just
vet,
take you
yeah.
take and you wait, and that's
Yeah.
how it works. So
and they get to
but
everybody somehow.
it's
They
worth-
get around everybody.
yeah, it's worth the wait, that's for sure. They were great. And when Angie walked in, Sebastian collapsed right after she went to the front desk, and everybody dropped what they were doing
Mhm.
and came out and got him and took him back like
Yeah.
right then.
I was impressed later on, like when I reviewed it back in my mind. I told them how grateful I was, but I was super impressed, by their response, because I was like, I wasn't in a good state of mind, and I could barely get through the blubbering and the crying, and I'm shaking, and so I barely get Sebastian hobbling out of the truck, and I'm trying to halfway carry him into the vet office. I make it up to the desk, and she goes, "Hi, how can I help you?" And through my tears, I just managed to get out, "I think my dog is dying." That's what I told her. I just like fell apart. And then we hear thud behind me, and we both looked, and he had collapsed on the floor. And I was like, "Oh no," and then so she yelled for help, and they all just rushed out. Yeah. And they carried him back to the exam room.
So really, really good. So that's, I try to look for the positive things that came out of this stuff, and that's a positive. So we found a vet around here. For me, finding a good vet is like finding a good pediatrician,
like
right?
gold,
Or
it's
finding
like-
a
it's
good
like gold.
primary care doctor. You want someone that's good.
Yeah.
And so I'm really grateful for finding them. I'm just beyond grateful for the friendship of Jason and Brooke.
And I had just missed
I get
her,
choked up thinking about it, but
apparently I found out this later that Brooke was there with the puppies, getting them their checkup and their clean bill of health. And
Yeah,
getting
which
their
y'all
last
saw.
shots. She on their video, if you watch their video, she was just there a few minutes. She had left a few minutes before I arrived. I didn't know that. I was flying toward that vet, trying to get there as fast as I could, but apparently I just missed Brooke and the puppies. They had just left.
Yep. So, but life is a big circle, right? Like you get a pet and you get attached and you love them and you bring them into part of your family, and
Exactly.
and you do it knowing that you are going to most likely outlive that pet unless you're getting something like a sulcata tortoise.
Right.
You're going to outlive the dog or the cat usually, and
Right.
so
I always tell people, if you don't want to bury your favorite thing that you're taking care of, then get an oak tree.
yeah, because
Plant an oak tree, because
you're
gonna outlive your pets.
and you do it to not just to bring them into your life and bring joy into your life, but to for them to have that awesome life and to give them a good life. And so he lived an awesome life. He lived a really, really good life.
Mhm.
So moving on to some other topics that we were going to talk about on Sunday and we didn't get a chance to talk about.
We didn't.
People trying to rent out our house.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So that's interesting,
That was
right?
always
So
fun, right?
I wanted to kind of tell a few more details about kind of what went on with that. Y'all, basically there's a lady that lives around here. I don't remember what city, somewhere around here. And someone hijacked her Facebook page. This is kind of what I got out of it from messaging the real account versus the hijacked account. And somebody hijacked her account. She made a new account, and it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
For years, her account's been hijacked, and she's reported it over and over and over to Facebook, and Facebook hasn't done anything about it.
We all know how quick Facebook is
Yeah,
to
they're
respond to
not.
things.
Yeah, they're just not. And so this has been going on. This is probably, people that aren't even around here, right? They hijacked her account. They just use her account to scam money out of people and get people to send money for a random address. They probably just honestly just look up addresses from Google or not Google, but Zillow, looking for houses that were for sale or used to be for sale, or how, just to get addresses to use, because it doesn't matter what address they use. If someone's going to pay them money for it,
Yeah.
they're going to pay them money for it,
Right. and they're going to keep doing it as
yeah.
long as they continue to get money out of it. They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and this lady, you know, I messaged her like I was a person looking for a house, and she, you know, told me she had this great apartment at our address that was really, really nice, and so yeah, so that's kind of the short and long of that.
I think it's funny how we found out about it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, they just these poor folks, and I feel bad for them. They you know, they came up to see.
They came to our house to see this place for rent. They came to see, and I saw them pulling in the drive ahead of me. I had just gotten home too, and I saw them park, and I said, "Wes, somebody's here at our house." And we went to talk to them, and that they had a heck of a story.
Yeah, they did, and they unfortunately they had paid not a deposit, but they had paid an application fee. So they had lost a little bit of money on that. But it's one of those things, y'all. If something seems too good, then it is probably most likely too good. And you got to look for things like when I asked if I could submit an application, and she said, "Sure, send me your email address." And then when she sends the application over and the address for the payment, all these email addresses are all different, and that should have warning bells going off in your head when you see that. You know, it's not good at all. So that's kind of what went on with that. Yeah, I agree with this. I think Biscuit was a meant to be. Sure. She's just too good to not have been. I still don't understand how she was a stray. I don't understand.
That was what I was saying, especially with Biscuit. I knew she was just one of those creatures that's like, you know, I have to have her. She's in my life for a reason. I'm meant to be her caretaker. She's meant for me. I felt it. I knew it. I didn't know why at the time, but I just knew it. I could feel it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm making a blanket. Hang on, I'll hold it up to camera and show you guys for a minute.
Yeah, it's a blanket. She's been working on it off and on for a long time, since before Chris. Well, since like September, right?
Yeah, and
off and on, more off than on.
I would have been done with it by now. I've been slothful and not diligent. I would have been done with it way long ago if I had been diligent about it. But I put it down for months during our move, and then I didn't come back to it. And I got to get done with the stitch. So if I don't get done doing the stitch I'm doing, I'll lose it and I'll forget where I'm at. So I got to finish this one little stitch here, and then I can show y'all. Sorry, a knitting hazard. You have to know where you are. Okay.
Thank you, Lester and Jamie. I'm not sure which one he's on, but thank you. That means a lot. And
so it's really big. I don't know if I can get it.
It is big.
It's big. So, but it's got, you know, different patterns, waviness, cable strips, popcorn diamonds. It's got different designs on it, but it's all different colors. And I've got a pattern of coloring going here, but yeah, and it's almost done. I mean, I'll be done in like maybe one more month. I'll be done. So yeah, it's just my first actual complicated advanced knitting blanket, my big project that I've been working on forever, and I don't know, I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of you for it. You did great.
And for those of you that knit, I know there's a lot of our subscribers out there that said that y'all were knitters or are knitters. I think y'all understand what I'm saying when I say that knitting like soothes you. It gets me through things, you know. It like I pour my anxiety into this blanket. I have
your sadness and your excitedness, and
I poured my feelings into this when I'm anxious or excited or nervous or sad. I'm sitting here knitting, and it helps me. It helps me to focus. It helps me to calm. I like it, you know. This blanket's got memories. Me and this blanket got memories.
Welcome, Gavin. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate all the love and support we get from all of you. And a lot of you are from Lester and Jamie, and we really appreciate it. And we love Lester and Jamie. We love them. They were Jason and Lester and Jamie. They're the first people we reached out to yesterday, because.
And you told Jason everything. Huh?
Yeah. So that we love them. They're all really close friends, and they just they mean the world to us.
And I told Zoe at Chestnut Hills, and I told Tracy at Just Ticket Farms,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just yeah, they're not just like fellow creators, they're friends of ours, you know, and I feel like when something happens in my life, I want to tell them, you know.
Yep. So, but it happens. Like I said, it happens. It's part of it.
I saw somebody say that she knew what I was talking about. If you don't pause or write it down or remember where you are, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to know what stitch you were on.
Mm-hmm. Also, thank y'all for identifying on one of our other videos. Maybe it was your video.
It might have been.
About the plant that we weren't sure what it was, the flower, and it's flowering almond. And we did some looking. A lot of you commented that it was.
And it's beautiful.
And I looked it up, and that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to know what it is. We love it. Absolutely love it. We're going to try and propagate some of it, or maybe it looks like I can just dig pieces of it up and divide it.
I mean, we're gonna try it, see if it works.
So we're gonna do that. I like it. I like it a lot.
Very happy. I went out. Was it when? Yeah, it was yesterday. It was yesterday morning before I took Bashy. In the morning, I just felt like I needed, I was stressed and I needed some comfort. So I went out to the greenhouse number 1 to see what had lived through the 22-degree weather. And
Which one's number 1?
And so number 1, I had seen my eucalyptus.
Oh, the eucalyptus. That's the one that's number 1.
I saw my eucalyptus that was in the little cups, and I think I've shown y'all that on video. But everyone was telling me that you have to up pot it sooner rather than later, and everything I read online said the same thing. So I just grabbed those, and I was like, it's about time to do that. So I got bigger pots out and pulled those out, and sure enough, the roots were like all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
They were bigger than I thought.
Yep.
So I've transplanted and up potted those, and I hope they all make it because more eucalyptus sprouted than I thought. We have a lot of eucalyptus. If all that lives, we're gonna have a lot of eucalyptus. I
like eucalyptus. I like it. Hello, Chestnut Hills. I don't know if it's Nick or Zoe on, but hello, welcome. How is Henry? Henry is
Still
doing
Henry.
Amazing.
Still Henry.
He's you wouldn't know that he has a broken leg.
No,
you wouldn't know.
You would never know that happened to him.
You wouldn't know he's had a broken leg at all. So he's doing great.
Miss Dorothy's, you see that? Getting ready to do a big raised bed in front of my porch because of what you did for Jamie. Would love seeing you pics. Oh
yeah, definitely do. Oh,
yeah.
I need to show you. We did get a message with some pics of plans for raised bed that you've kind of inspired several people, baby.
Coghill is looking for azalea bushes.
Yeah, I did talk to Jason about it. Here's the kicker. The azalea bushes, most of ours are along the front of our drive, we're not going to even be able to dig them up either because there's a fiber optic line when I went and looked that runs the front whole line of our property. So if we go trying to dig them up, we're going to hit that fiber optic line.
And these are not like little bushes. These are
the roots are just sprawly.
Yeah, you would need a tractor to dig these up. They've been there for
so we'll probably have to either 1, leave them, or 2, cut them ground level.
Right.
So when I went out and looked, actually I just looked the other day at it, and I'm really not comfortable trying to do that and then ruining our fiber optic. Nick driving over.
Zoe's
working, and you're in the she's out,
on
the drive home.
She's out playing with those babies. You know she is. You're gonna find her with the babies.
Someone asked what's for dinner, and y'all, not something that is really great.
Not gourmet chef level tonight.
I know someone asked.
We're doing simple. We're doing quick.
There it is.
I have to go to the Wednesday night church event for the girls. They have Young Women's at the church, and they're baking cookies and stuff. So we have a limited time for dinner. It's not going to be gourmet chef night.
No, and Miles has been asking for this for a long time. We don't make it much because most of us don't really care for it, but he likes just the regular original Kraft macaroni and cheese, the box macaroni and cheese.
He does.
So, and what he's been asking for is that with hamburger meat mixed in. So I guess hamburger mac and cheese.
Right.
The homemade so that's what we're
Hamburger Helper. It's like a homemade version.
Well, it's not very homemade. It's a box of mac and cheese. Ugh. But anyway, that's what we're having. We're doing it for him.
Right.
We love him. We actually started this new thing where we we're trying to list out 2 weeks worth of meals plus a couple extras, not the day that we're going to have it on, but just list out meal
Right,
ideas
future 2 weeks.
to
yeah.
try and help us be a little more organized going to the store.
Look at us being all
I
efficient.
know.
We've finally gotten to be efficient with grocery shopping.
So when we used to live near a Sam's Club,
Yeah.
it was easy because we had standard meat and stuff we would buy at
Every
Sam's
time,
Club.
we knew what we got
Every
time,
2
yeah.
weeks we would go, we would get the same meat. We would make different meals, but we would always have that meat on hand. Well, now it's a little bit harder because we could just get it all from Walmart, but it's a little more expensive than buying it from Sam's Club, even though I know in general it's all Walmart and Sam's are really the same company.
But for some reason at Walmart we tend to always get different things. Our buggy's always full of
And they
different
don't-
items.
well,
we don't get standard
and they don't
items.
sell meat in as big of packages as they do at Sam's
They don't.
Club.
And we
So
have a family of 6. You know?
yeah, so we've had to do more planning to try and avoid spending more. It's been an adjustment
Yeah.
after the move, a good thing,
Mhm.
but an adjustment. Anyway, so we sat down as a family, and Miles picked a couple things that he wanted as well.
Everybody
and that
got
was one of
something
them.
that they liked, but there
Mhm.
are things on the list that only
Yeah.
one or 2 people are gonna like.
Mhm.
You know, so we had to
Yep.
compromise. We're like, you get your favorite meal, but you don't get every meal as your favorite meal.
Yep, definitely. Australia is full of eucalyptus trees. As a matter of fact, I think it's the only place that's full of eucalyptus
Right?
trees
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
But man, we love them. They smell
Mhm.
so good. So we would love. I think we've told y'all, but we want to have just a grove of eucalyptus trees.
I
Can you
was
call
happy
that
when
a
those-
grove?
I think so. I was happy when those germinated, and I was so excited when they
Mhm.
lived through the cold and they're doing well. I was thrilled, y'all. That thrilled my soul.
Mm-hmm. Corned beef. I love me some corned beef.
I do too. I like corn.
Do you?
Yeah.
You always tell me you're kind of like, eh.
I've come to like it a lot better when
Yeah.
I was younger, not so much, but like my taste buds
Yeah.
have changed. I think I like it a lot better.
I like to
now.
make corned beef.
Mhm.
I like to
Yeah, like
brine it and make
now
it.
that's the
Make
best.
corned beef.
That's the best.
Oh, hello in Clanton. You're not far from us at all. Not far at all, Miss Brenda. Another thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned it early on, just this, right as we started the live, I think there were only a few people on. One was Miss Jody over in Australia. But anybody who bought the magnets, make sure and let me know when you get them, especially the 2 of you in Australia. Let me know, because I don't want you to not get them.
Mhm.
So if you don't get them, let me know. Let me know for sure. Ooh, in Opelika. Hello in Opelika. I got a cousin that lives in Opelika. We looked at a house in Opelika. I interviewed for a job in Opelika, and we ended up not moving there. This was years and years ago, but
I remember that.
Yep. It's not a bad area in there. The other thing is, if you didn't see, I don't know. I don't think I posted anything on YouTube about it, but on our website, we have our t-shirts for sale. We have 2 options. We've got our one with just our Big Family Small Farm logo on it, and then the Goats Garden Chickens and Happiness shirt, which is the same as the magnet, which I guess I can go get one.
Yeah, go show them.
But
She's following. Biscuit was snoring at my feet a second ago, and the minute he gets up, she's following him. She's looking like, where are we going? Where are we going? She will go play. Anytime you want to go play and throw the ball, she will go with you.
All right. So this is the magnet, of course, not the shirt, but this is what the shirt looks like. It's got this on it. So it's available multiple colors. We use the same folks that Cog Hill uses for their shirts. It's the same company. So if you go over to our website and go to shop, that's where our t-shirts are. If you're interested in one of those, we'll probably start adding some more t-shirts when we have a second to kind of think of some fun designs for it. The no plant sale, you guys already know because I posted online, but and you guys now know why, because you've seen the video from today where all the stuff died.
Yep.
But honestly, like
I
we're
wouldn't- I
not.
wouldn't say all. I wouldn't say all.
Well, most of it. Most of it died enough that we are not going to be able to sell it.
Yeah. We took a heavy loss.
Yep. Here, Miss Brenda, I will type it into the comments real quick here. Big family, small farm.com. Now, you know what's funny is that those of you who've been following us for a long, long time, like before the name change, you know, we used to be called the Naked Hog a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I still pay for the Naked Hog domain name, right? Like, so if you type in nakedhog.com, it will also take you to the Big Family Small Farm website.
Yep.
So
It'll just redirect you right to it.
and I actually, when I type it in, that's shorter to type. So that's what I type. I just type nakedhog.com, and then it takes me over to our website when I need to take a look at it. So another thing we're doing, we're going to try out. I'm excited about this, y'all.
What are you getting now?
I got lots of show and tell today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's water in that. I just spilled that all over the place.
He just dumped water all over the floor.
All right, I'll have to clean that up, but be careful. I didn't think there was water in it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Hey, can somebody get me a towel? I'll go get one.
I'll get one. I'll
You
get
sure?
one when we get done.
Okay,
baby.
all
Yeah,
right.
I'll get it when we get done. Anyway, what that is?
What did you drop it all over? Is it wetting anything down there?
No, just the floor, and we got waterproof flooring, so we're good.
Oh my goodness.
So what that is, because you probably couldn't tell, it's just we're propagating some mint. We're gonna try and propagate a bunch of mint, a bunch of herbs, and probably try and start selling the plugs, like the little starts of herbs and stuff on the website too. So that's a ways off. We still got a little ways to do that. We've got to get enough plants ourselves to be able to take enough cuttings to start and propagate enough to sell them.
Yeah.
We're also going to plant some seeds for some kitchen herbs like sage, thyme. We'll probably take
The
more
standard
rosemary
stuff,
starts,
standard stuff.
tarragon, basil, and
I'm hoping that we have enough. We're gonna like regroup and kind of see what we can start and what is still going and good enough to sell. Because again, we want to put out a good quality product, nothing subpar. So if it's not good enough to sell, it's not going to get sold. You want to sell a good plant, but we're going to see what all we have, because the plant sale location that we were going to do on March 18th that got moved back, we're hoping for early April. So we're hoping first.
Yeah, we are still hoping to still do the plant sale.
First or second week in April. So
we're just going to replant some stuff. Yeah,
I got to see what we can have ready at that time. My mind is kind of venturing more towards herbs and flowers lately. I know I love veggies, and we're still going to do veggies, and I love veggies.
Yep.
But my mind has kind of been like exploring the herbs and flowers thing more.
It looked like chocolate mint. It was orange mint.
Orange mint.
Orange mint does kind of look like chocolate mint and peppermint. So that's the two it was. We also have apple mint, lemon balm, bee balm.
Don't we have spearmint?
We might have spearmint. I don't know. I have to look. We got a bunch of it.
That's a good question from Charlotte right there.
This one?
Do you know how old chicks are before you can tell the sex?
I've had chickens before, but not chicks. How old are they before I can tell the sex? Grown. But Angie and Avery seem to think that they're good at it.
I'm pretty good at it. I can tell in the early stages of between a month to 8 weeks, so that 4 to 8 week period, I can start selecting the roosters from the hens. But Avery is so good; she can tell when they're little, like the age they are, just over a week old. So by a week or two, she can tell you which one's a rooster or hen.
But you know,
and
not always.
One way that you can do it, this is not 100%, but one way that you can do it with those little babies, that's not going to be traumatic or invasive or anything. You look at their wings, because you can do the invasive route that hatcheries do. Hatcheries, they flip them over and they push on their stomach and they make their organ protrude or not, and they check for the male or female. But that's hard on the little chick. So if you don't want to hurt it or do anything invasive, you could just look at its wing. So you hold out its wing from its body, just pull the little wing
and look for the flight. So this only works if they have the flight feathers.
Right. So you
Yeah.
can tell as the next week goes on and into the third week, you're going to tell that the tips of the wings are going to stick out on some, and then some of them are going to have wings all the same length.
The
So-
feathers. Yeah, when you're
sorry.
looking at the feathers.
The
Yep.
feathers, not the actual wing, but the feathers on the wing. So the feathers at the top of the wing are going to be
Mhm.
long, and the feathers toward the back of the wing are going to be shorter. But then on some of them, the feathers are going to be all the same length. Supposedly, and this usually does work. I've tried
Mhm.
it, so it usually does work.
Yep.
The ones that have the longer feathers at the tip and the shorter at the back are going to be the roosters, and the ones that have all the same length are going to be your hens.
Yep. Yep.
So you could try that.
Oh, I wanted to comment on this one first. This reminds me, with you saying that, Miss Sherry, that you have wild mint growing all over and you love to smell when we mow.
Yeah. That's nice.
I hadn't even told Angie about this. We have like wild ramps or little green onions or something growing all over in random places.
I think.
Did
saw
you-
That. I
did
think
you-
saw a
I
couple
could-
of- I thought that's what it was.
I smelled it and I went and I pulled one up and nothing wrong, nothing like a little taste test to see if something's poisonous.
He's gonna poison himself
But
one day. He
It was
really
onions.
is.
It was onions. It was probably ramps or
I'm
like I
gonna-
said,
I'm gonna be
some
taking
sort of
you to the
wild
hospital one
onion.
day if you don't stop eating random
I know.
things. and
I know.
leaves.
I'm worse than a dog that just eats stuff.
He is.
Yeah. Winston has gotten a lot better. Winston used to just eat
Yeah.
everything.
he's
We had to take
better.
him to a vet one time because we noticed something weird was sticking out after he had gone to the bathroom.
Mm.
And turned out it was a Ziploc bag. I don't even know where he gotten it from.
And
Yeah, he had found a Ziploc bag and
he'll
was
eat
eating it.
trash, paper.
Yeah,
like
but he doesn't
he's-
do it anymore.
He was a little garbage
Yeah,
disposal.
Yeah, he doesn't do it anymore. We got him broken of it, but he doesn't do that anymore. For medicinal herbs and stuff, we are going to try and sell as much of the starts as we can. But if you're looking to start them from seed, make sure and check out Just Dig It Farms herb collection at Hoss Tools.
Mhm.
Really, really,
That's
really
really good,
awesome.
yeah.
We started it. Actually, I showed it on the video. It was one of the few
Yes.
things that lived in the greenhouse through the freeze. But
I planted every one of those suckers.
yeah, it's an awesome
Yes.
kind of curated kit. Tracy kind of curated that collection.
Yes.
And so just like Jason's sunflower,
Yeah,
little
his
sunflower
kit,
kit,
Every-
a kit collection. That's the word,
Yeah,
not
collection.
kit, collection.
Every herb that you've probably been looking for or wanting to have or looking online for, but it's hard to find, is in that deluxe
Yeah.
herb.
Yeah. They
collection of
got
herbs.
quite a few of them. Yep.
Now it is a little pricey, but let me tell you, it's if so many seeds are in that, if you get all that to germinate, you'll
Mhm.
have that stuff forever, like forever.
It was probably wild onions. They looked like really skinny, long onion,
Yeah, just looked like a tiny
leaves.
skinny onion.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And they were good. I'd have cooked with them. They were good. So they definitely weren't ramps. They didn't have a broad leaf. So they weren't ramps then. So definitely just a wild onion. But
Well, I'm
very
I'm
delicious.
Glad you're not poisoned.
Me too. And they tasted good.
That they
These are
do.
really good. Really, really, really good. So, y'all, I got to get this fancy dinner started here so we can have time to eat before they have to
Fancy
leave
like
tonight.
Applebee's.
Yeah, fancy like mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Fancy like mac and cheese with some hamburger meat. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I can't tell y'all enough how much we appreciate all the words of support y'all
Yeah.
have given.
We read them. We
really,
listen to
really,
them,
really
and
means a lot.
It helps
Yeah.
us when we break down crying randomly throughout the day, or we just look
Yep.
over in the corner and we just miss our dog. It really helps us to hear from you guys. That helps.
Yep, it really, really does. We love y'all. We appreciate your support. And we will see y'all in the next one.
Love you.